Good morning. It is 11 a.m. this Saturday and you're still on to the Meta CNN podcast. Up next is Today in Auto. This segment is sponsored by Mobily, a Canadian transport technology company that uses blockchain technology to securely connect riders to cars or prices that will make car owners green with envy. In today's segment, we'll be talking about something that millions of people are now on board with and environmental activists continue to advocate for, and that is the relatively new government law that discourages people from owning cars at all. I'll give you a little bit of background. Over the last decade, population density has become a big problem, especially in urban areas, with cars competing for human space, leading to congestion and pollution. Even though the move to electric vehicles has now become mainstream, trial solutions from companies like Uber and Turo, which by the way has now been recently acquired by Mobily, have inadvertently contributed to more cars, more energy wastage, and more space usage as people buy cars for the sole purpose of using it as a business on these services. Most of these services also create a transactional model that is expensive and is not a permanent substitute for owning a car. Private ownership of cars has become unsustainable, and in fact, research all the way back in 2021 had pointed out cars sit idle for 95% of the day on average and may need an estimated 4 to 8 car parking bays, which further drives up the cost of housing and limits space utilization. In June 2030, after 24 months of wide-scale stakeholder deliberations, Canada's government established the National Shared Mobility Agency, a government agency that employs advanced AI systems to collect data on traffic patterns, average daily miles traveled per city, rider population, and more, and analyzes this data to predict mobility demand through a system of ratings. Car manufacturers then use this data to produce cars that are supplied not to individual car owners, but instead distributed to converted parking spaces and neighborhood car hubs, now called mobility authentication lots or MALs, scattered across cities. Mobily works as a mobility as a service ecosystem aggregator, working with registered car manufacturers like Tuber, the merger between Toyota and Uber, car dealers, or transport providers. It also works with auto insurance algorithms to calculate premiums per trip payable to registered insurance companies on its platform. Mobily is also a strategic partner of the federal government, working closely with the NSMA and the recently formed Shared Economy Taxation Agency SETA, which formulates tax policies and collection for all organizations that enable the sharing economy. So, how does Mobily work? Let's give it a go. When we open the Mobily app, there are 3 options to choose from. Check cars around you, search for a specific location, or speak with an AI chatbot for help. Say we want to check cars around us. We'll click and see a list of cars with varying statuses: active, waiting, or charging. Active cars are rides someone has booked but not yet beamed. Beamed is a term for when you have booked but not yet taken possession of the car. Waiting cars are rides ready to be possessed, while charging shows cars with low batteries that are juicing up. You will also see information on battery level, distance drivable, the proximity of the car, and the condition of the car, as well as ratings from previous users. Once we select a ride, we have 15 minutes to beam the car, else it switches from active back to waiting. Once you're close to your ride, you can beam your ride. And the app validates your crypto signature by matching the ride's private key to your encrypted booking instruction. Once this is complete, you can start your engine right on the app and drive safe. How does Mobily calculate and share revenue?
To use Mobily, simply load your Mobily crypto card to purchase Mobily credits on the app. Your credits are charged with a mix of road user taxes, miles traveled, the insurance risk of your destination. For example, park schools are classified as low risk and may be costed lower, while downtown areas, clubs, or high traffic areas may be higher risk and charged accordingly. And finally, the rider rating.
Oh no, what's a rider rating?
The rider rating is an automated rating based on your driving behavior per trip, aggregated by algorithmic auto systems over time.
Generally, driving with at least 2 people in the car also improves the rating of each person. Today in 2032, over 70% of Canadians happily do not own a car. Perhaps that is because to own your car, you have to pay the government created monthly sustainability and parking taxes per car owned. This is to offset energy inefficiency and parking taxes for underutilized space. In addition to monthly insurance premiums and car payments, which have soared in price due to shrinking demand from the private owners segment. These rising costs in car ownership are driving up increased migration from rural areas, where mobility cars are in short demand, to the urban areas as people try to ditch their car costs and partake in the low-cost convenience mobility rides offer, leading to a disproportionate population explosion across the country. According to some medical experts, ride-sharing may be helping the spread of certain viruses and infections. Some of the opposers of the new structure have also stated vehicle commoditization as a key issue, with car manufacturers not seeing any financial motivation to innovate. Most cars simply adopt similar styles, prioritizing cost reduction, size efficiency, and ride safety, as no one cares about luxury comfort in ride-sharing.
Long gone are the days of the F-150 or luxury sedans.
That's it for today. Please don't forget to leave your reactions or questions in the comments. Till next time, don't forget, we all share the planet. Why not share a ride? Take care.